Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. I'm your host, Elena Fox. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time. And that whenever and wherever you happen to be in this universe that was created for, from, and by love, I hope that you are able to dive into all of the opportunities at hand to love yourself. Self-care and self-love is extremely important, and a part of that is basically to be aware of what you're going through and acknowledging it, and the Ascension Symptoms, the Ascension flu symptoms that we've all been going through lately. It's important to know you're not alone. I'm going to try to read some of these things that I found on Instagram over the past couple days. Not today so much, but maybe there was one earlier in the morning. I'm apologizing for the very lateness of the show getting out. The problem is I've been trying to charge my tablet for about 12 hours. More than 12 hours, like 14 hours. And it's been plugged in this whole time, shut off this whole time, not connected to the internet. And we're only finally now at 37%. And the last, like the 10%, it's only gone up by 15% in the past hour. So I mean, it was like barely at 20% for like 6, 7, 8 hours. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why that is happening. I let it run out all the way. I didn't mean to. It cut off. I was in the middle of answering a DM, and all of a sudden that was the end. Oh, and I know that problems with electronics has been an issue. A lot of weird glitches. A lot of you have written to me. I've heard from several of you. Jordan was telling me she was having some problems with this, with the, just everything's acting weird and glitchy. You know, like you send a message and then the other person sends you a couple messages, and then your message sends after they send brand new messages, even though you sent it an hour ago and they just sent new messages like 5 minutes ago. That happened to me today. Just a weird thing, like people's messages getting overlaid, or when you play a voice message, it's just it's a minute long, but it only plays 30 seconds or even 2 seconds, and then it'll skip over 30 seconds and play another 2 seconds, and then it's over. That happened to me in 3 different voice messages. It's just been very strange and very glitchy. My energy has been I've been vibing extremely high, so I don't know if it's me. I did an anti-fracture. It's not how to call it. I don't know what to call it, but I did a meditation today about cutting all the cords between me and all the people that have crushes on me or who've had sexual thoughts about me without my permission. That's part of my self-care today. And I did the same thing for my twin flame. Hopefully he's feeling better. We're not in contact in the 3D world yet, only through telepathy. But we didn't talk about it. I just did it automatically. Because, God told me, hey, you know what? You can clear anything for your twin flame because it's the same soul. You and the other person. You have the same, you share a soul. So you're only protecting your own soul. And I thought, okay, great. That's awesome. So I cut all the cords and ties between him and all of his exes. And between me and all my exes, which I've already done before, but I did it again, just in case. In case our exes thought about us. Like, when you think about somebody and then suddenly they call you, or maybe they were thinking about you and now suddenly you're thinking about them. It seems to me like if it's not a cord, it's a tendril that's touching you. It's some kind of energy. I'm like, nah, I think I'm going to cut all the crap. I'm going to cut it all. And I started asking God, because sometimes I feel emotionally, mentally, and even physically drained. And I started thinking it might be that people are trying to tap into my sexuality, my sexual energy, and they're trying to somehow siphon it off of me. It was just a weird thought I had today. I thought, well, fuck that. I'm going to cut all the cords between me and anybody else who wanted something from me that I was not willing to give. Not just what happened in the past week, but, since Friday, but just from other people. Like, I feel this weird energy sometimes. Men, hey, I got eyes. You got eyes. We got so much in common. Let's get married, baby. I've had this kind of a conversation. It's not that exact conversation, but it's what it feels like to me. It's like we literally have zero in common. It's like, you have a human body. I have a human body. Hey, let's put them together. It's like, dude, like, it's so dumb. Like, I need something in common, like serious amount of things in common before I even want to go on a date. Before I want to even have a conversation about anything, a second date, it's like I need to know that there's, So the situation with this person who, after knowing me for less than an hour, asked me to be his girlfriend, and after 2 days, 3 days, where one day we didn't talk at all, and the third day asked if he could move in with me and be my boyfriend, and he did a favor for me and used that as an excuse to hug me, and then he got really weird and he wouldn't stop hugging me, and it felt so rapey, and I just was like, fuck, man. And and that got me thinking that maybe there's other men that have had these kinds of thoughts about, for me and towards me, and I thought, I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to retrieve all the energy that's mine, and I'm going to slough off, exfoliate off all the energy that does not belong to me, that comes from other people and their expectations and their wantonness of me, and I'm not like I'm all that or whatever. It's just that every woman on the planet has this, I don't want to have to go into a conversation about the male gaze, but it's something that we all as women have to deal with. And I think that men have to deal with it as well. And if you've ever had a period of time in your life in which you were a player and you want to go around, sleeping around with a lot of people, it might have been 10, 20 years ago, there's still people from your life in that time, that era, that they still want you. And I started thinking about that too, like, damn, there might have been people that, 20 years ago I was thinking, hey, and not 20 years ago, I was actually happily married then, so I'd say like 25 years ago, something like that, where I was like, hey, maybe this person might be, something or whatever. And then over the years, I've had conversations with so many men that were thinking that they wanted something with me, right? And then just for whatever reason didn't work out. There were, some serious conversations. There were no relationships, and I started thinking, well, what if they're still hanging on to me emotionally, mentally, spiritually, like, even though they're not touching me physically? I feel like there's an energetic pull and an energetic drag. And so I'm not going to say it just happens to women. This happens to everybody. There's always people that want you that you don't feel a gel with, like you don't gel with them. And so it's sometimes it's just downright awkward, but that energy lingers. And I start thinking about, there's the idea where this is a love universe. We're all filled with love. We're made from love, and some of these feels and then I'm feeling, I start thinking maybe they're not all mine. And I don't want to own anyone else's feels. I'm sending them back. You're welcome to your thoughts and your feelings, but I'm not going to own it. I'm not going to make it feel better for you. I rejected you, and it's not on me to feel the pain of that when you put yourself in a weird position. It's not on me to, make you feel better or comfort you after you were rapey towards me and acting weird and not understanding how male, female, or human to human relationships work. Not to be cisgendered or heteronormative about it at this moment, but I've been thinking about these things quite a bit while I'm waiting for this freaking thing to charge. I don't know why it wasn't charging, but I did want to get into some of the cool posts. Let me see about the Ascension Symptoms, because I thought, what, this is really weird that a lot of these lists lately, especially from Naga Healing Guidance, her channeling the information for the collective about the crap that we're going through has really gotten me thinking that she's super tapped in. Like, a lot of her stuff doesn't really match me, but then recently it's all been pretty close, right? It's for me, and a lot of people have contacted me saying the same thing. So I'm just going to read her stuff. Okay. So now this is from 3 days ago, and she said, you may not feel focused or willing to do much today, and it's a bit of a meh or tired. And I feel that way. Just feeling that blech. So she says, I'm seeing some fear of betrayal coming up again. And when we had the moon in Pisces, and it was square to the sun in Leo, it created a contradicting type of day inside and outside. I feel like that was 3 days ago, and we're still feeling that. So attention, support, wounds may be strongly felt. And she also said divine masculine activation is giving you the drive and the energy work so you can go towards your goals and dreams, which is nice. Symptoms might include right or left side body tension. I don't know about you guys. I've been feeling tension in the middle of my body, up and down my entire spine, including my hips, but in the middle, like lower back area. So for me, it's been body tension for sure, but also in the middle, in the front, in my stomach muscles have felt tense. And the psoas muscle, it's spelled PSOAS, otherwise known as your hip flexors. And when those are tight, it creates anxiety that you just can't freaking shake. And I've also had anxiety that I cannot shake in spite of unraveling my psoas or hip flexor muscles. So that's another one. She might say it. I don't know. Let's get back into the list. Sorry about that. So she says teeth sensitivity, chest heaviness, tired body soreness, hot flashes, forehead pain inside the skull, forehead tension, itchy butt pulsations, heat spots around the body. I had a heat spot on my stomach. It was so weird. The rest of my body was normal. My stomach felt like, almost like it was an energetic fever. It was almost like my aura had a fever. It wasn't really my physical body, but my body felt hot. It's kind of weird. It's like, almost like my stomach was being cooked in a microwave oven. And I know that's not true. Where the rest of my body was normal, that doesn't make any sense. I don't even own a microwave. I don't think there's any microwaves even on this property, to be honest. This is just weird. It's like, I don't even know. I don't know what it is, but yeah, like heat spots around the body. Knotted shoulders, yes, for sure. Joint pain, yes. A lot of joint pains. Knees, ankles. Like, I've been having a hard time walking. It's been, even like I went on a walk a couple days ago and I walked for, like 6 or 7 blocks. And when I got home, I felt like I'd injured myself walking. I'm like, what the actual hell? Because I walk all the time. Not all the time, but like 3-4 days a week I'm out there walking. And some days I go and walk a couple miles, and it's like, I was like walking 3 blocks one way, shopping at a store, and 3 blocks home. How the hell that hurt me so much? It's just an Ascension symptom. That's all it is. I mean, I'm eating, and I'm taking magnesium, and yet this is still happening. It's it's like, okay, whatever. We're going to get through it, but it is what it is right now. But insomnia or sleepiness and sweet or chocolate cravings. Yes, I just bought chocolate today. That's so weird. That is freaking weird. This is like from 3 days ago, and I'm reading it only now. Okay. So she says basically a bunch of numbers, symbols that people have been coming up with: dolphins, unicorns, rats, lava, stones, rabbits and hares, feathers, and mushrooms. All right, for me, it's been mushrooms and rabbits. But my beloved, I'm sure, is born in the year of the rabbit, so, Chinese astrology. So that one has been coming up quite a bit. I think feathers a little bit too. So let's go to the next one. This one was Star Goddess Healing, and she said, this message is for you. If more than 3 of the following words resonate with you, and I thought this is a very interesting approach. So this is how she does it. And so I'm going to read those words. Archangel Michael, lotus, dolphin, crown chakra, Vishnu, Mama Kucha, Libra, Cancer, 333, Raven, the Lovers, Rabbit, Unicorn, Mirror, Justice, Fire, Akashic Records, Home, Vega, Lyra, Zeta, 11, and Freedom. Now, how many of those resonated with you? I'm going to tell you mine. Archangel Michael, he's come up a lot for me lately, and there was a really stupid movie I watched on Sunday about the apocalypse, and I can't even remember the name of it. It was so dumb. It was Legion. It was called Legion. And I don't think this is how anything's going to ever go down. It's kind of ridiculous. But there was one... It makes no sense that Archangel Michael came to Earth and cut off his wings immediately. It was one of the dumbest things ever. Like, the first scene was just like, oh man, I know this movie's going to suck, but I'm going to keep watching it. See how sucky it gets, basically. I hope you guys don't like the movie because I'm disparaging it, but I just thought it was a stupid premise. I mean, the apocalypse is real. It's happening right now, but not the way whatever. But anyway, I can't even, just some of the scenes are popping up in my head. Like where angels come from heaven and then they start eating people like zombies. I mean, that's not going to happen. That's not how God has a lot more class than that, guys. Like, what? Anyway, there was this one line that got me though, and Archangel Gabriel was trying to ruin, like, basically kill off all the people in the world, and because God was supposedly angry, and Archangel Michael was just like, they're trying to heal, help. He said, there's still hope. There's still hope. There's a baby. It's going to be born. It's the Messiah, basically. And he's, even though no one ever really said that, this baby's the hope for the world. And he's fighting for this little baby. And the mother didn't even want the baby, and she was unmarried, and she had another boyfriend already. And it was like a really ridiculous, the whole thing was so ridiculous. Anyway, so Archangel Michael's like fighting Gabriel, and Gabriel said, you've always liked the humans. When the first humans were created, you bowed at their feet, you knelt at their feet, and you kissed their feet. You loved the humans from the beginning. And there was something about that when I heard it, I paused the movie and I just started bawling uncontrollably, because I felt like in that line that it's probably true. And I had an overwhelming urge to know Archangel Michael again, to see him, to be with him, near him, and physically see him, like, again, and even though I work with him quite a bit, it was just something about that just made me absolutely weep for the sadness and the longing for the home, the crystal city from which I came, which is the heaven that we all go back to. And I don't know, so I read this and I'm like, holy moly. Lotus, my first business card had a lotus on it. Dolphin, obviously I live at the beach, love dolphins. Crown chakra, I've been working with my crown chakra. I mean, like, every single one of these. Vishnu, not so much. Mama Kucha, I don't know. Libra, Cancer, 333 has come up a lot. I've had conversations with more than one of you about ravens. The Lover's card always comes up if I do a reading for myself. Rabbit, I just mentioned that one earlier. Unicorn, my near twin flame has a unicorn on his family crest, which is pretty interesting and cool. Mirror, I was thinking about how I want a mirror. My son is an Archangel of Justice, so here, Justice. Fire, fire's come up a lot lately, actually. Akashic Records, I started reading on Monday, a book about the life of Jesus as read from the Akashic Records directly. Home, I just mentioned that. And then 11, obviously. And freedom, And Lyra, Vega, my cat is from... she's Lyran from the planet Vega, or the Vega star system at least. So all this stuff just really had me like going, this is going to be an very interesting message. So Star Goddess Healing, and this is what she said. Trust the process of transformation in all aspects of your life. So basically, if 3 or more of these words resonated with you or have come up for you in the past few days or week, this message is for you. So trust the process of transformation in all aspects of your life. You're undergoing major releases of old karma collected in this lifetime. You're coming back into unity with the plan that was meant for you before the beginning of this life. The good you've done for others is coming back to you. Your hard work is paying off. Stay consistent. New beginnings are here for you, especially in the area of love and romance. The love of a lifetime is on the horizon, and it is fire. Till its official appearance, go ahead, keep working on you. So you will begin to see the fruits of your labor to sprout this week, so keep watering your garden. You're going to see a major harvest this fall. Fall holds so much magic for you. Everything you touch turns to gold. Continue to give to others as you receive. Now this one now that I'm reading it again after what I did today, the meditation I did today is interesting. Remember to not take on the energy of others and put boundaries in place when needed. Oh boy, that's just so relevant for me in the past 3-4 days. You are being tested. See, holy shit, didn't I not say that yesterday? We're being tested. Say no if you want to say no. Say yes only if your whole heart says yes. Spend time recharging in water or under the stars, or both. So, then let's see. She also writes, expect travel, breakthrough, communication, divine masculine integration, which I just did another meditation this morning about that as well. Late night conversations, which I've been having for days with Archangel Archangel, which I have loved. We've talked about all kinds of fun stuff. Even Lucifer has contacted me lately. We've been having conversations too. So anyway, so other things to expect: romantic love, healing hearts, fairness, soul family, ending of karmic ties, interstellar communication, intense astral travel, fluctuating taking action, and extreme rest. Have you guys been doing the extreme rest thing? I've been sleeping 12 to 13 hour days every day. Except today, I only slept like 6 hours. And tonight I laid down, I set my alarm for 3 hours, waiting for this thing to charge. And it was impossible to sleep. I laid down in bed, and my cat was at the bottom of the bed, and so I made sure not to disturb her. And then she reached her little paws out, and she started tickling my feet. It was so cute. I was like, oh my God. And I was laughing so hard, and she was just trying to pet me the way I pet her. And I thought that was so adorable. But it was tickling me, and I was trying not to laugh because I didn't want to embarrass her. I don't know. Do cats get embarrassed? Probably, right? I think they're very much like us with their emotions. She's been very cute all day, and so that was adorable. But I just couldn't sleep. And then after a while, she calmed down, and she put both her little feet on my feet, which I was like, oh my God, that's one of my favorite things ever. And so we were kind of cuddling, and I rested, I relaxed my mind. I listened to some psychedelic trip hop music, but I just could not fall asleep. I was really tired, laid down, could not sleep. It was the craziest thing. And I'm like, I have 3 hours to sleep. You know, my tablet is not charging at all. And now that I've been talking to you guys, it's on 45%. So, I mean, it's now charging faster now that I'm actually using it, you know, to do the show. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. I really don't know why it's glitching like this. So anyway, what to do next? Practice self-discipline, forgiveness, gratitude, heal your heart, your inner child at deeper levels, move your body, open yourself to unlimited possibilities, romance yourself. That's what I've been doing all day. I've been thinking about all the things I want to do for myself romantically to draw my twin flame to me, but not to focus on him, focus on me. Because he and I are together anyway, no matter what. We have the same soul, you know. He'll physically be in my life soon, so I'm not worried. But that's something I've been thinking. You know, it's part of self-care, you know. Light candles for yourself. Buy a perfume and flowers for yourself. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. You know what? Buy the cologne you like. Wear the sexy aftershave or the sweet-smelling lotion for you. Do it for you. Rearrange your office, living room, or bedroom using a feng shui compass. That was one of her ideas. This is Star Goddess Healing still. So I thought this was kind of cute. She had such a cute, it was such an awesome little setup here. Her little post is adorable. And so long, too. So the Naga Healing Guidance, now this is from 2 days ago. and this one also is telling. She says some people, this is the energy update, some people might feel quite saddened, triggered, going through something similar, a mini dark night of the soul. Or similar to that, a mini dark night of the soul. So that's acting like a bridge for the new self. Not everyone's going through it, but some people might simply notice a few things that were resolved coming up again, but not in an intense way. It's just coming up for the final, energy clearing. So these energies might be making you feel nauseous, having a headache or a migraine, buzzing sensations, slight tremors on the hands, painful fingers and or nails, increased thirst, superficial breathing, and body stiffness. Now, this buzzing sensation that she doesn't really explain very much, that one is really weird because I've been feeling it in my bones for a long while actually. And I wanted to talk about it. And I don't really know what the words are. I've said it many times. The way that I'm experiencing it is as I lay down and I start to relax, I feel that my bones are vibrating. And it feels like somebody put a cell phone on vibrate and implanted it in my spine. And it's vibrating all of my entire skeleton. And it hasn't stopped. And it hasn't stopped for, I've been consciously aware of this for months. But it's gotten really intense the past 2 weeks. And it's the feeling I'm always getting. So there's that. Energy update again. And these may or may not be applicable to you. And they might be, applicable today, but not tomorrow, or wasn't yesterday when she posted this. These may be applicable, some of them now and some of them in a week. We're all on the same journey, but we're all at different paces. We're different places on the road, on the journey back to our, higher dimensional self. So this one I thought was interesting. This is also Naga Healing Guidance from yesterday. She said symptoms might include bloating, being hungry, but yet feeling full, or unsure of what to eat. I've been no clue what to eat today. I have food that I'm just looking at it. I have fresh vegetables that are kind of rotting because I don't know if I even want to eat them. I don't know. I'm just, all day yesterday, I hardly ate. I didn't even eat enough for a bird, and I don't know why. I'm just I don't really want food right now. It's kind of weird. Have you guys experienced that? Anyway, feeling, having gases or feeling tailbone pain, high energy. I don't think she means you feel high, but that you're having a high vibrational energy. I definitely have that high vibrational energy. It's I'm loving it, though. I'm basking in it, people worship the sun. That's how I feel. I'm basking in this energy inside my house. I'm not out in the sun. But heat on different spots, sinus and temple pressure, constipation or diarrhea or both, messages through dreams, itchy skin, goosebumps, clarity. So it's not all bad. Clarity is always good. Burps, feeling ungrounded, anxious. Anxious for me is the big one. High sex drive, forehead tension, among others. So let's see if there's another one. This might have been the last one. Oh, this other person, conscious soul, and this is all on Instagram, by the way. This one really got to me yesterday. She says, is it just me, or is anyone else having an unusually rough time for the past 2 to 3 days, can't sleep properly, really vivid dreams, upset stomach, and just a lot of emotional turmoil? Which fucking planet is having a meltdown? My comment to that was, I think it's Earth that's having a meltdown. That's the planet. That's just the way I feel. I feel like this is exactly like this is how everyone's feeling. I've been emotionally like, I'll be just dancing to music and happy and feeling like I'm really happy. I really love my life. I mean, I'm alone, but I love myself and I'm okay being alone. And I really love my cat. And she and I have been getting along more in the past week than we've ever gotten. We've always gotten along, but this past week, we've had this deepening of the love that we share between us. It sounds weird, but my cat is a really deep little person. She's petting my feet because she knew I was a little sleepy. Oh, how sweet is that? And when I tell her my back hurts, she'll like rub my back. It's really crazy. You know? Now other times if I try to force her to do anything, she'll like, you know, bite the crap out of me. She'll make me bleed. Their teeth or claws, doesn't matter. She'll make me bleed. You know, she bit my nose today. She bit my cheek yesterday. Sometimes she's quite dangerous. But then there's been these moments of incredible sweetness. And I'm just like, wow. You know, just so much love. There's just so much love. And so, even though she's got a Gemini moon, and I know she's just preparing me. Okay, I don't think my twin flame, who I'm sure is a Gemini, I'm pretty sure he's not going to just like randomly lash out and scratch me or bite me on the cheek. I don't think he's going to act like my cat, you know, but I think the changeable moods, I'm getting used to it. I'm just like, okay, taking it in stride. So somehow I think she's easing me into the whole living with a Gemini thing. I don't think it's all that bad, honestly. I mean, my new neighbor, he's a Gemini, and he's such a sweet person, and we have like the most amazing conversations. Even if it's like for 5 minutes, the exchange is like so intense. Like we exchange so much information in just a short span of time, and I'm loving having a mercurial connection with somebody. It's pretty cool. So mother healing is another thing Naga Healing Guidance said. She said the divine feminine is healing massive amounts of blockages that touch most, if not all, areas of what being a divine feminine truly means. This includes healing submission, abuse, lack mindsets, identity, relationship with emotions, self-love, among many others. When a feminine chooses to step up and accept her own essence as it is, a shift occurs and a higher timeline opens. I've been going through this for 2 weeks, guys. I mean, I've like literally shifted 23 times. So, I mean, I don't know. In the past day, I think I have even shifted more. 2 more times, 3 more times. Yeah. 25 times I've hopped up to 25 better timelines. And what's really sad though is the house. There's 2 houses that I was absolutely in love with, and neither one of them are on the market suddenly. I've hopped up to 23 timelines, and the 2 houses I thought were the goals I was going to work towards, they're just gone now. They either don't exist or they're not on the market right now. I mean, that's like crazy. Like 2 weeks ago, they both were. And now they're both gone. And I'm like, whoa. The apartments, the little condos for a lot less money are available, though, that I liked in the gated communities that I liked. But some of these gated communities are amazing. Like they have like little tiny condos for hardly any money. Or they have these massive $500,000 houses or like 5,000 square feet. And every kind of property in between, but in a gated community, where you have access to like 5 swimming pools. I mean, these are luxury gated communities. And the fees every month for living in this luxury is $65 a month. It's like, it's so easy. I'm like, what? I can handle that. So I've got to buy one of these places at some point. But anyways, I'm just watching it all unfold. I don't have the money at the moment, but I feel like it's going to happen so fast. And I feel like I'm stepping into my power as a divine feminine. So I feel it's like happening super fast suddenly. Anyway, so it's funny, a higher timeline opens, and I feel like I feel like I've been funneled into a higher timeline again and again and again, like 25 times in a row. So I hope you guys are doing your work, your spiritual work, raising your vibration and hopping up the timelines as well. So, okay, as a consequence of many feminines closing karmic and even ancestral cycles, mostly within love relationships, the relationship with the mother, both or either inner and actual mother, heals. Divine feminines are not needy or fragile or overly sensitive, pushy, demanding, slaves, or controlling, or martyrs. Divine feminines know exactly what they need. What they need is the depth of themselves expressed through another being. So I thought that was very, very telling, very interesting. And the energy update, and this is for today, from the Naga Healing Guidance, from the same post. The energies that have been quite high and stable, you might be feeling energetic and want to do lots of things. Many are starting some type of exercise routine. Others started a few days ago. Some may be seeing others as stagnant because they stand up for different values and beliefs. Some might be finding out hidden info about others. Your mind might feel quite slow and foggy. And there are some strange dark thoughts going around, mostly in the back of your mind, but may be more conscious now. This is probably coming from the third eye clearing. Symptoms might include a lack of balance, vertigo-like. I've been having that a couple times. Felt like I was just going to fall right over, just standing there, and then I feel like I'm going to fall. It's like, what the hell? And then like a few minutes later, I'm totally fine. I'm like, that was a weird moment. It's happened a couple times to me in the past like 2-3 days. It's been really freaking weird. Superficial breathing, muscle stiffness, forehead tension, painful spine, hip pain, twitches and sleepiness, jaw tension, temples pressure, and insomnia. As she reads this at 3:22 a.m. Okay, so these are the ones I wanted to let you know about, because this is what a lot of these things I've been relating to. So these are the current Ascension symptoms. I try to at least read off several of these every week for you guys, because I want you to know where other people are at. And a lot of people, especially on the one that talked about, what the hell planet is having a meltdown. On that post, the people were just, every single comment is like, yeah, I can't stop crying. Like, oh my God, I'm just so sad. I'm so sad out of nowhere. And I've had these few moments where I'll be fine, happy, laughing, dancing, listening to upbeat music, singing, and then all of a sudden I just break down and I just can't. I'm like uncontrollably weeping. And then I'm okay again, or I'm tired, and then I lay down, and then I'm awake again, and then it's just, everything has been really crazy. Is the moon in Cancer? I don't think it is. Feels like the moon's in Cancer right now. But that's what I've been feeling. I hope you guys are okay. I hope if you understand that this is what everyone's going, several of you have written me and saying, I can't stop crying. I'm not going to lie. I can't stop crying today. A lot of people have gotten that. And you know what? If that's you, and you wrote me and you said that, you're not the only one. I mean, thousands of other people are going through the same symptoms. Another symptom that no one has mentioned is eyesight going out, like you feel like you're going blind, and then it comes back a few days later. It's like, what the hell? I think my eyes are being upgraded or updated somehow. I was holding my crystal today, and you know how the rainbow is, Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And there's rainbows in the sky. There's also rainbows through prisms or crystals. And I have a twin flame crystal that I hold in my hand when I go to sleep. It has a very high vibration. and it helps me focus. You know, I have a couple different crystals I sleep with. I have rocks in my bed. I have like 4 big rocks in my bed usually. But I was holding this crystal and I was looking at today during the day when I was waking up. And I noticed in the Roy G. Biv pattern where it was between the green and the blue, I found 2 different colors that really should not have been there. That aren't usually there, but I was able to see 2 different colors that are almost like a fuchsia and a different kind of a purple. And I can't say it's something that's outside of the 3rd dimension, but in the Roy G. Biv pattern, they're in the wrong place. So I want you guys to check out if you have a crystal or if you ever see a rainbow in the sky, if there's some different patterns to the rainbows. And I did talk about this, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. Somebody had on Space Weather had sent in where it was like a double rainbow, but it was like all one rainbow, but it was like 2 streaks of red next to each other with colors in between. It was really weird. It wasn't a normal Roy G. Biv pattern. I believe that means we're entering the 5th dimension more as our solid physical bodies are going more that direction. I hope that's what that means anyway. All right, just looked. It was 45 minutes, 45 seconds into it. There's a nice angel number for you. All right, so here we go, guys. We are in the middle of a solar wind. Solar wind speed right now is 524.4 kilometers per second. It's up like 200 kilometers per second up from yesterday. And it says here, according to spaceweather.com, right now the sun is blank. There's no sunspots, but there were rare blue aurora borealises over Canada, and they're beautiful. And they're very this looks like the 5th dimension, man. This is such a beautiful picture. A solar wind stream hit Earth during the early hours of the 28th, and it rattled Earth's magnetic field, and it sparked rare blue auroras over Canada. So Joel Weatherly sent in a picture if you want to check it out. It was outside of Edmonton, and despite the light pollution in the clouds and the bright moonlight, Aurora Borealis put on a spectacular show, says Weatherly. Note the blue on top. And it's like cobalt blue. It was in a regular blue sky with cobalt blue, right when the sun was coming up. Gorgeous. So blue is a sign of bright moonlight hitting the top of the Aurora Borealis. And the process is called resonant scattering. And that's when high up in the aurora zone, ionized nitrogen molecules will naturally produce blue light, just a little bit. And usually the geomagnetic glow is too faint to see. But this one was a good picture, so we get to see it tonight. And the ions were hit by moonlight, and it captured and re-emitted the blue photons from the moon, and so it was extra blue in this picture. It's worth it. It's worth it, trust me. Spaceweather.com, go check it out. So the auroras are normally almost always green, and sometimes a red or purple, but blue is very rare, and it's because of the moon. So thank you, Luna, for helping us with that. All right, we're obviously still in solar cycle 25. We have gone down from, the outside cosmic radiation hitting us has gone down by 0.7% over the past 48 hours, obviously, because the solar wind speed has picked up and coming our way. I feel energized by it. I love it, by the way. 22 fireballs were spotted over the United States by the All-Sky Fireball Network and the NASA's All-Sky cameras. 14 were sporadic, 4 were Alpha Capricornids, 3 were Southern Delta Aquarids, and 1 was a Perseid. So 22 is an angel number. It's also a symbol for twin flame relationships. So there you go. There's a little message hidden there for you, maybe. There are no large coronal holes on the Earth's side of the sun. even though we're being bombarded by solar radiation. I guess it went around the corner right after it sent the solar wind stream our way, and then it closed back up real quick, I guess. So, yeah, this picture is really beautiful. It's like so pastel-y and very fifth dimensional. Look, I mean, this picture is really cool on spaceweather.com right now, with the blue aurora borealis. It's this is how I envisioned it when I channeled Prime Creator last week or the week before, and I've seen all of the plasma. That is what I saw. This is very much, it looks like what he was mentioning. Schumann Resonance coming out of Italy. The news today from disclosurenews.it is like a big old power 7, just like nothing. 7.83 is normal, so this is like just slightly below normal, with a massive amount of blackouts, like just where there's no readings whatsoever. So believe it or not, though, Heart Math Institute is up and running again, thank God. And so now we have some information from the 26th of July at the 2300 hour, and this is what was going on. California, this is the Schumann resonance frequencies, by the way. California was at 124 hertz frequency. Hafuf, Saudi Arabia was at 102 hertz frequency. Lithuania was at 170 hertz frequency. Alberta, Canada, Alberta, Canada was at 318 hertz frequency. And that was, and like they were huge, like they were way up there. Alberta, Canada, they were at 461 on Friday at 1 in the afternoon. So they went down, and then they're going right back up again. They had gone down to 210, and now in Alberta, Canada, they're going on an upswing again. So 318, that's significant hertz frequency. And Northland, New Zealand is at 83 hertz frequency. Last but not least, Hululu, South Africa was at 79 hertz frequency. And that is the Schumann Resonance news from 2 days ago. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. And when I come back, I am going to channel for you a little bit. We're now up to 51%. It's like, why? I don't understand why it took like 14 hours to get to 20%. And it's gone up by 20% since I started this 52 minutes and 25 seconds ago. That's 5225, another angel number for you. Oh my God, and would you check it out? I'm going to stop this right here at 3:33 a.m., 333. There's another angel number for you. Ooh, for those of you keeping score, that's where it's at. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so finally we're up to 73%. It only took another hour and a half, but okay. I am a channeler, and I am unconventional as a channeler. For those of you who are new to the show, I don't allow beings to take over my body. When I do my channeling, it is entirely indirect. It just makes it better for me, I guess. I use telepathy and clairvoyance. I have different clair abilities, as you call them. I have clairgustatory, which is when I can taste what if someone sends me the sensation of tasting something. Usually they don't. Usually the disembodied spirits, are not thinking about tasting, because it's a physical thing. I taste what my twin flame is eating sometimes, which is really fun and trippy. That's a fun form of telepathy. But I have a clair olfactory. Sometimes they will send me messages via scent. I have clairsentience, so I feel emotions and physical sensations. And I can feel when someone has entered the room, if a spirit is with me. I'm connected to Archangel Michael right now. However, he is not in the room with me. He is going to telepath with me from wherever he is, which he's saying is in heaven right now. The earth's heaven. And I have the other clairsentience. Clairsenses, sorry. Clairvoyance, where I could see the past, the future. I could see a picture that a spirit is sending to me. And so I use all that. Plus I use telepathy, where I usually what happens in the beginning of a channel is that I will receive a pretty big chunk or packet of information that comes to me in a form of like a chunk of light, like a cube of light, or a circle of light, like a sphere of light, depending on the being. They'll send me a packet of light, and I have to unpack it and unravel it and hear it. And so I get all the information as a quick download, and then now I have to spend the next 30 or more minutes to unravel it and explain it. And then there's questions and interaction as well. So when I am unclear on a concept, if I'm not sure of what I'm hearing or seeing in my mind's eye, or through the senses, the clairsenses, I will ask, and I will do muscle testing, and that's as a backup, while I'm also hearing their words of yes or no. That's what you're sensing or hearing or whatever. Sometimes I might get stuck on a word or something. Also, I will let you guys know if it's something that I'm saying or I'm asking. I'll say, "This is me, Elena," so that you guys know it's not a message directly from the person or being or interdimensional or extraterrestrial or deity or master of light that I am channeling. And I normally don't channel angels. Archangel Michael is an disincarnate, or he's not incarnated in a physical form like I am. I'm Archangel Azrael, the original Archangel of Death, and I am incarnate in physical form, and I have been for many, many thousands of years. I've been stuck here. I've been here. What happened was we had the fall, basically. Archangel Michael says he wants to talk about that, right? That's awesome, because I don't remember a lot from it. What happened was there was a fall, basically. I'm going to tell you my perspective, and then we'll get Michael's perspective. Basically, Lucifer was the first angel ever to be created, and he was perfect, 100%, beautiful, glorious, amazing. Everybody loved him, and he was perfect, and he was told he was perfect, and everyone loved him. He, his other name or nickname, I guess, is Lucifer, which means the light bringer, but his name is Archangel Samael. That's his original name. And he and all the other angels after him came about. We all were created, and then man was created after the angels. And basically we were told that we are here, we are created to serve God by serving man, or by helping the humans, basically, not to be, gender specific, I mean humans, humans. So Archangel Samael got very angry about that, obviously, and he was like, you make us perfect and we serve you. He's talking to God, and, we do everything you say. We do your bidding, and we love you completely, and we're perfect. We're made perfect. And then you make these imperfect creatures, and you call them man or humans, and they have free will, and they're allowed to do bad and go against you and forget you exist. And we're supposed to be like worshiping them or bowing at their feet and doing shit for them, basically. It didn't make any sense to him. He was very logical. And so he said, basically, screw this. I'm out of here. And he left. He fell to earth. He was the first angel to rebel, and he led the rebellion. And a lot of angels agreed with him. Like, yeah, this is BS, And then the rest of us that fell to earth fell because God asked us to keep an eye on the humans and be watchers, to help the humans and keep an eye on the demons, because the angels became demons when they fell in rebelliousness against God. And that's what I remember. I remember that day. If you call it a day, it was living in a place that was timeless. I do remember angels yelling at each other. It was a fight. It was like the first fight we ever had. And Lucifer caused, or Archangel Samael caused the fight. And I remember they were fighting. I think it was Archangel Remiel, who's incarnate right now, and I talk to her all the time. And it might have been Archangel Haniel, and she's also somebody that I talk to all the time. She's also incarnate. And there was this massive fight, and I was just like trying to convince him to stay. Like, what are you doing? And he went to what looked like an edge of a platform that kind of appeared, and he was just like, that's it, I'm out of here. And he fell. He literally fell. And he just left. And it was the first betrayal in heaven, and it just broke everyone's heart in two. We were all just so torn. Like, that was our brother. He was the one that we loved the most. We loved God the most, but out of the angels, we loved Archangel Samael the most. And it was the biggest betrayal. And so that's how the whole thing started. So the good versus evil thing. But Lucifer is not evil. He's the punisher of evil. But he did become the prince of the material world, basically. The king of the material world. And he is the prince of darkness, as they call him, or the prince of hell, or whatever. But he's really not a bad guy. He's, hell's the place where the people choose to be punished because they feel guilty about things that they've done, and they go there to work out the deeper traumatic psychological issues that they were not able to work out on earth, things that they feel that they probably need to be punished for. Because when you die, you have to judge yourself. You have to decide for yourself where you deserve to be. You pick. I mean, God judges you, sure, but you judge yourself first. When you die, you get to experience your life from your own perspective, and then you get to experience it from everybody else's perspective. And the first thing you learn is all the people you hurt, you get to feel their hurt, their pain, their sorrow, all the things that you stress, you cause them, anger, you cause them, all the bad things you've done to people, or said, or didn't say, or didn't do. You feel this from their perspective, and you also get to understand their psychology from their perspective and what led up to that moment for them, and why your words that you say maybe in anger or whatever, and maybe it's to you just a heat of the moment thing, but maybe you might say a trigger word or something that really cuts deep, and you don't know. You don't know until you know, right? So you go through all that, and then you get to, right after, experience all the love and the joy and the beauty and the amazing energy that you've caused for people, where you've touched people's hearts, and when you've lifted them up. And you get to feel their joy, and you get to feel the healing balm that was your energy towards them. You get to feel all the good things that you've done. And then you judge yourself, basically. And I think there's a counselor you talk to. And, if you definitely deserve to be in hell and you're not judging yourself correctly, I think maybe God steps in. But overall, we all know. We all have a conscience. More so when we're in heaven than now. We get away with a lot more down here. We think we're gaining weight with it, but we're not really. Because anytime we hurt people, we're going to go through that. Anytime we've loved people and given them what they needed, we're going to feel it from them too. So that's what I understand, what I know to be true, at least from the angel of death's perspective. But Archangel Michael says there's been too much talk of the fall, but people don't really understand what happened. I was asked to fall to Archangel, I don't know if that's his real name, but Melchizedek. Oh my God, I can't even say his name. Melchizedek is a friend of mine that came to me, and he was the first person to come to me and say, I am an archangel incarnate. In fact, he didn't say archangel, he said angel. He said, I am an angel, and I'm incarnate, and so are you. And I'm like, what? He said, yes, you are an angel. I'm like, what am I the angel of? And he said, you're the angel of death. You don't know that? I'm like, no. And I thought, he must be crazy, obviously. There's no way. But now I accept it because it makes so much sense. When I told my kids, my eyes turned completely black, even the white parts of my eyes. And my energy, like my whole, the way I looked, my appearance changed for a split second when I told my kids. And they both stepped back away from me, like absolutely terrified. They were like, whoa. And I'm like, what? And they're like, your eyes just turned black. Like, holy shit, I believe you, Mom. You really are the angel of death. And I'm like, thanks. I'm sorry, I don't mean to scare you. I love you so much. I'm still your mommy. You know what I mean? I'm still your mom, but I'm also that. And that's how the whole thing started. And I'm learning more about the fall, and I'm remembering more as I go. But Melchizedek, oh my God, I can barely say his name right now. He told me that he and I were holding hands when we fell. We fell together. And I believe that I was also holding hands with my twin flame, Archangel Sandalphon. And that was it. We all fell together. And that was the last life I had with Archangel Sandalphon, was my first life here. And hopefully we'll get together again in this life. We talk all the time via telepathy. So that, and with that concept, we're going to get right into me channeling Archangel Michael right now. So here we go. I'm going to take a couple breaths and get into his energy more. He's not here with me. Sometimes he is. Sometimes when I'm really sad, he'll come and put his wings around me. Archangel Michael and I are also pretty close. Not as much as when we were in heaven together, but he's been one of my main go-to people, or angels. He's always been like a rock for me, and It's better, though, if you ever want him to help you with anything. And he's a warrior angel, and he could cut all the ties between you and all the bad stuff and all the bad people and all between you and your exes. And he could cut cords and energy, and he's a great protector. It's better to ask God to send him to you, or any angel for that matter, or just say the Archangel of whatever you need versus our names, because a lot of us are incarnate right now. 7,000 of us are incarnate right now on Earth trying to help humanity ascend. So that's what we're doing now. And by the way, anybody who says they're channeling Archangel Azrael, they're lying, because they're not channeling me. In fact, I've put a kibosh on this since last year. None of the archangels that are incarnate are being channeled anymore. And I'm asking God, and he says, yeah. And muscle testing says, yeah. Because we need to keep all of our physical energy in our physical bodies so that we can physically ascend and help the rest of creation ascend. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here, guys. So, okay, Archangel Michael said he's going to talk for about 30 minutes or so, 30, 35 minutes. So here we go. Archangel Michael, am I connected to you? Muscle testing says yes. Archangel Michael, go ahead. You may begin transmission now. Hello, I am Archangel Michael. Greetings to all of you who are listening to this transmission. We in heaven, we watch you. We watch you from above, from a higher perspective, and we are in constant joy and rejoicing in our love for you, and we send our love to you from heaven. We send our love to all of you, whether you are starseeds or humans originally, or and starseeds are basically humans from other planets that were born on other planets first. But there are a lot of starseeds from all over the universe, all over the universes here now, also to help humanity ascend. And many of the starseeds come from higher realms. So if that's you, and you are a starseed, you come from a higher dimension, and you miss not only your home world, but you miss that dimension as well. And so many of you are feeling particularly homesick and feelings of sorrow and sadness, because this has been a very long and dragged out process, this ascending. The ascension has been very toll-taking on everybody, but especially the starseeds, who are originally from a higher dimension, and they have not incarnated much in a 3D world to begin with. Now, if you're human and you've been here for a long time, you are willing to go through this because you've already been through the 3D ringer, and now you're going to a fifth dimensional world, and you knew this was happening before you got here, and you agreed to it because you thought it would be quite interesting, and indeed it is. All of heaven is waiting, as humans say, waiting with bated breath, and that's how we feel. We are so excited for you, for the ascension of humanity. We're so excited to witness and be a part of your journey. This is a big spiritual journey, and this is quite the end of this world. And it is an emotional time for those of you who are, especially for those of you who were there in the beginning, whether you're an archangel or a human or a starseed, or if you've been a watcher of this planet for a long time and then you decided to come in as a walk-in, a last minute appointment, as it were, and you're a higher extra dimensional being, and now you have inhabited a physical human body after the human spirit said, enough is enough. I can't take this high vibrational energy anymore. And that is happening too. There are so many wonderful and strange things and unusual things happening at this time around your planet. I know you cannot help but notice all the changes taking place. All the people in your life who thought were negative or rude or impossible to change, suddenly having a newfound interest, a new outlook on life. Usually it's because they're a walk-in. So we talked now about the end, but we're going to go back to the beginning, at least from my perspective as a warrior angel. I am Archangel Michael. Many of you know me. I am, I dare say, one of the most popular archangels around. I am happy to know that most of you know me, or at least most of you have heard about me. And there have been sad and erroneous information, tidbits going around about me in recent years. And no, I'm not a part of the reptilian agenda or the Nephilim process or any of the negative things. And no, I'm not here to serve myself, because I am a warrior angel for God, and I have always served the Lord. I have always served the God Almighty, the heavenly hosts, the higher vibrational energies. I have walked in that light, and I have served under that light for as long as I have been in existence. The creator, source of all things, the primal will to good. That is who I serve. And because I serve the Lord, the God, the Godhead, because I serve this energy, I only bow down before man if my God asks me to. Because as I do so, I bow down to the God in each and every one of you. I recognize and see the highest possible vibration. I see the highest possible good for each and every one of you. I see your potential. I see your becoming. And I see all of that because I saw and witnessed your beginning. There is beginning and there is end, and there is time without beginning or end, and all of it is the Lord. All of it is God. All of it is sacred. All of the energy in your world is sacred. All of the energy in your world is holy. All of the energy in your world comes from the one will, from the God, or whatever word you wish to use, of course. The glorious God of all, the Almighty, that stands before you each and every day, though you cannot see how much this energy, this love source, the source of all things, loves each and every one of you. You are given these built-in egos that allow you to experience the away from God energy. The awayness is what weighs so mightily and heavily upon your minds and hearts. It causes anxiety, sadness, fear, and sometimes disgrace among your kind. And the reason you have to experience it is because you are fighting your way back, tooth and nail, back to the source of who you are, which is back to God. When I bow to humans, I bow to God. I bow to the God inside of you, because I only recognize the highest power in each and every one of you. If I am asked by God to come and help you, if you call upon me, I have to ask permission from God first. And as I come to you, I do so willingly, happily, joyfully, because I am serving the one will. I've had to fight many battles and demons, and I've had to fight many dark entities, dark energies. And yet I always see that everything in the ultimate end, even the demons and the negative energies, it's all just God pretending he doesn't know himself. Just like strangers at a party that don't know each other, but when they're in heaven, they know each other. It's just like a party game. Because in the end, everybody knows everybody, because everybody is everybody. And unity is the end game for all of these worlds and schematics. For the end of the universe is going to result in complete and total victory for the one will. And this victory is going to be 100% glorious, pure, perfect, divine perfection, and ultimate unity. Your world is crumbling about you before your very eyes. But when you look at it through an archangel's perspective, especially an archangel who is not incarnate, we have a clearer vision and a clearer picture. And we see that as the structures crumble upon your world, the structures are being built in the fifth dimension. As your foundation seems to fall away from your feet, a new foundation is being built directly under you. Your world is going to change. Your energy, your body, your minds, your spirits, everything's going to change, except your soul remains the pure, perfect light of God that it always was and always will be and shall be forevermore. Your origins seemed rocky according to your stories, but humanity did not begin and end with the story of Adam and Eve. We're not going to discuss that. But suffice to say, humans existed long before that incident occurred. And most of that is a metaphor anyway. So it is funny, though, however, that Lucifer, Archangel Samael in his devilish form or his demonic form, appeared in the first book of the Bible. And he appeared in the first chapter of your world as well. So even though people denounce him and get angry at him and blame him for their every little problem, he gets blamed for a lot of drama that he has nothing to do with. And he's gone through more pain and suffering than perhaps any of you, even though it doesn't seem like it. But he's had millennia of this pain and suffering put upon him, all the blame and the hatred that is sent his way when he's the punisher of evil. Sure, he's a tempter, but he's not the ultimate. He's not the ultimate evil bad guy that he has been made out to be. And if it wasn't for that energy, which is basically God rebelling against himself, when you see it from a higher perspective, there could not have been are you saying bipolarity? Yeah, bipolarity, or the polarity, basically. He's saying something else. Bisectional. Was that it? Okay. He's showing me something like it looks like a pillbox, and I know that's not what it is. He's showing me like a drop of light. Imagine like there's a pillbox, but there's only two sides to it. So like the lid's open and a drop of light falls on the center divider of a pillbox. This is me, Elena, talking. Imagine the drop of light falls and it splits in two. And it's the same exact light, but on one side, it obscures itself completely. And it's almost like that part of the box, or that side, that section is blacked out. And it cannot see outside of that part of the box. And he's showing me this energy of the light on the other side, but where it's clear windows. Could see everything, knows everything, pure divine perfection. And it's just like this is just a metaphor. It's not exactly what happened, but he's showing me. Then somebody closes a lid on the box and lets it sit there for the next several billion years, millions of years, maybe in trillions. I don't even honestly know how much time has passed. And so on one side of the box, you've got the drop of light that sees everything, knows everything, is perfectly clear, and sends pure love constantly. And then on the other side of the box, you have a very frightened, hurt being that cannot see out. Everything's obscured. Everything is scary. And this drop of light splits off into all of the humans, basically, and it has to fight its way out of the darkness and figure its way out of that box. And he's saying, and he's like laughing about this idea, because even like the schematic, as it's given to me a lot of times, is like shaped like a cube. Even though our world is not shaped like a cube, it's like a metaphor that I'm always getting. It reminds me like a Borg cube. If you've ever watched Star Trek: The Next Generation, the Borg, but and they came later in other Star Trek things. But anyway, so he's showing me that's kind of what it was like. It's like God decided, he wondered if he would come back to himself, if he completely forgot himself. Like, if you love yourself, but then you completely forgot who you were, would you want to be friends with yourself? Would you want to be there for yourself? Or would you leave yourself? And the pain of not knowing anything, the pain of having nothing, when God himself is everything and creates everything, that was what the question was. Or there's several, there's a massive set of questions that God had. And that's how everything started. So, okay, so now go back. Now it says Archangel Michael, go ahead. Talk again, please. So that being that everybody loves to hate, especially the people who call themselves religious from the various religions, and they say that they hate the demon, they hate the devil, they hate Lucifer, or Satan, or whatever you want to call him. And they hate this negative entity that rebelled against God. But if it wasn't for that, we would not have polarity in the world. You would not have the ability to decide each and every day, do you go towards the light or do you go towards the dark? What do you do? Where are you? Where are you at? And it's just a game. It's like a game of chess or a game of ping pong. Chess is maybe a better way of putting it, though, because the pieces are black and white. So black would be a complete obscurity, going towards the negative or the dark side, or the light, the white pieces would be like going towards the light side. God, always God. So which side do you go? And now maybe you're stuck between the two. Maybe you're in the gray path and you're trying to figure it out. But every day in every way you make a choice. Do I go towards God or do I go away from God? Do I go towards who I truly am, or do I go away from my own inner nature and go against my better judgment and go against who I am at the core of my being? So that fateful day, when Lucifer, the most perfect of all angels, who loved God the most and who was loved by God the most, turned against God, it was all preordained and pre-written. It was a part of the divine plan. And when you call him your enemy and hate him, you have not heard the commandment, love everybody with your heart, mind, body, and soul, even your own enemies. Love your enemies as yourself. Because from the highest possible perspective, everything is God. Everything is God. And we in heaven heard Elena say the other day a quote that she had heard from before, that there's more light in the darkness than there is in the light, because the darkness is more dense. And that was what the scientists of your world have discovered in the physical world. And it is true, because it takes so much more force to stay away from God. It takes so much force and so much powerful energy to constantly turn away from the true nature. But like everything, it all comes back and it bounces back, and that is what is happening now. All of the evil forces that kept your world in polarity are bouncing back, because unity is starting to happen. Even though you might see it as there being a lot of evil in the world, everything is being cleaned up right now from a perspective of that bounce back energy, the unity energy. We are watching as it occurs. We've seen demons on the verge of changing back into their angelic shapes, their angelic forms. We see the transformations taking place among the humans and among the fallen angels. We see the demons becoming fallen angels, again turning back. Some demons are stubbornly refusing, of course, as to be expected, but many of the beings that to the average person would consider to be absolutely evil, everything is changing. The evil, the darkness is leaving your schematic, because it's over. Everyone has to leave the 3D world eventually, and you are ascending physically, and the only ones that can ascend are the ones that choose the light. Choose that light every day. The light of God, the glory of God that resides in your heart of hearts, in the center of your very soul, lies the fingerprint of God. You are divine and you are perfect on a soul level. Your physical body and your mental body and your emotional body are all working towards perfection. As you heal and learn and grow, you take one step closer to perfection, even if it's one quick little lesson per day that you're learning, one person that you forgive, one positive action that you perform, one amend that you make. Every little bit, every little step is a step towards the light and a step away from the darkness in your personal nature. Everybody was gifted with the ability to go both ways, positive or negative. But just like in a magnet where you have a positive and a negative pole, you are the same. The magnet is the magnet. And you've got the positive and the negative side. You have to decide which direction you want to go. Every single day. And does it hurt you to be negative? Yes, it does. Does it hurt others? Yes, it does. But eventually you're going to choose the positive side. And you're going to be very positive. And all the people around you will be very positive. And you're going to create positive changes in your world with all this positivity, with all the love. We say here in heaven that love is the most important thing. Love is all there is. Love is the most special, divinely inspired energy that there can be. It's the highest form, the highest vibration. It's the highest vibrational emotion. Earth is known for its love. There are planets that contain love or made with love, but the powerful, deep, emotional state of the emotional body of the human being, when it feels love, it's so intense here. The opposites that exist in your world create a situation where you can feel the ultimate terror, the ultimate fear. This is not available in other worlds. You feel the ultimate love and the ultimate joy as well. Again, that's also not available on other worlds. You are all very lucky, even if you don't feel like it, and you have struggles every day, because it's always a struggle. The bipolarity, the polar opposite energies. Do I go towards the light? Do I go towards the dark? Do I take the low road or do I take the high road? These are questions that you ask all the time. So in the beginning, yes, the fall happened. In the beginning, several angels, many angels, fell against God. But you have to understand that when that happened, they fell against God because God willed it. Even though in those moments they believed they willed it, causing the energy of rebellion. But on the other, I just opened my eyes, it's 44 minutes, 44 seconds. Of course, 4, which means thousands of angels are surrounding you in this moment. That was me, Elena, talking. I just had to point that out, because it is what it is. It's quite special when that happens. Okay, go ahead, Archangel Michael. So, everyone assumes that God was angry. This is me, Elena, talking, Archangel Michael. Everyone assumes God was angry. Was God angry on that day when the fall first took place? God is a neutral energy. This is Archangel Michael now. He says, God is a neutral energy. God wanted to experience something other than neutrality and pure love. So God technically was not angry, no. But God created that dichotomy that was felt more so a little bit in heaven, and it reverberated in heaven, or at least the edges of the Crystal City where this fall took place. But overall, God was pleased because he knew the game was on. The big game, the checker pieces were being put on the board. The black and the white pieces were being put on the board. And the new planes of existence were ready to receive this incredible game, this incredible experiment that is the world that you call Earth. Terra, Tierra, Gaia. And Gaia was the spirit that received the energy of the fallen ones. And she was prepared as well, even though it's also very painful for her. And it's quite painful because she knows the pure love that even the fallen ones, even the demons, she knows the beautiful, powerful divinity energy that resides at the heart and the soul of every single one of them. Because at the heart of their beings as well lies also the fingerprint of God. So when this happened, you could say the first batch, or maybe even the first dispatch of angels fell out of anger and rebellion. But God had to create that energy of disharmony, discord, and chaos first. God created the energy so that they would even have that in their minds. You have to understand, this is all a game plan, the big master plan from the being that created all of us, the source of all things. And energy reverberated. And it was almost as if God took a little tiny marble-sized shape, or he's showing me like a shape of a marble, or maybe like a agate marble. I don't know if you guys know what that means, like super old-fashioned term, but like the bigger marbles. He's showing me the shape of a marble, and he's saying it's almost like God took the good and the powerful, the love of who he is, and he took that, and it was like, if imagine a marble shape, and then flipping inside out, and then dropped it. Just dropped it on the floor, like on the edge of the Crystal City. And he's showing me that all the angels were standing kind of on the edge of the Crystal City. And when he dropped it, like a cracked in like what looked like a white marble floor. And then part of it cracked and kind of floated away. And he's showing me that it kind of floated away and then opened up, and there's just blackness on the edge of the Crystal City. And he showed me that like a waft of air came up, and it was almost like the ones who became demons smelled that air or something. It's what he's showing me. It's like this energy of this, and then like he's showing me tendrils now of like orange and red energy, different vibrational energies. And they turned, and that's how the game began. Lucifer caught that first, and he led that rebellion, and then all the other angels turned bad. But it's because God dropped that marble that was the inside out version of himself. And then the game began. He shows that they all just kind of said goodbye, and they had anger, and the rest of us angels were standing there going, oh my God, what happened? And we were afraid of going near the edge. We were like backing up from it. And they just fell, and they changed color. Like their beautiful white wings turned dark, like kind of a dark black or brownish, like they were burned. It's almost like they fell into a volcano without the lava. Like they just got burned, and yet they didn't die. And that's what we saw, and it was terrifying. The whole moment, it was all very terrifying for those of us who witnessed it. And I didn't remember it. And he's showing it to me, and I'm kind of remembering it as he's showing it to me. And then he says, okay, then God blew on the marble, and a fine mist came over the cavern that had opened up on the edge of the crystal city, and it was gray, like a gray mist, like a fog. And he blew his breath into that, and the gray mist got clouded over with a blue and a white mist. And he said, you, and he grabbed, Archangel Michael's showing me this is me, Elena, talking, and he's showing me that he just said you, and he just grabbed a certain section of us angels. He outstretched his hand, and we felt the energy of it on our back, and he said, you are to be the watchers. Take care of my human children and follow your brethren who turned bad, basically. I don't remember the words, but it's kind of the energy he's showing me more than the words right now. And we had a mark on our back. He showed me there was a mark made on our back. It was an extra shield of protection that he gave us when we fell. Because we are not bad ones, and we didn't change color because we didn't fall into the blackness. We fell into the white, blue, gray mist. And that's what clouded our ability to see who we are, who we were. For this whole time until just this life, a lot of us are waking up. And that's what it clouded us. So we couldn't, we also had to make decision. But even though we've always been basically good, we had to make the decision to love God from our own heart, from our own soul. Us archangels had to discover our love for God all over again. Even though we've always basically gone that direction. We could have become demons, but most of us. Did any of us change? No. The ones who were asked to take care of the humans. He's saying no. We've always been good, but we didn't know. We didn't know our identity. We were like amnesiacs. We fell into an amnesiac mist. And also, he's showing me that it helped us to float gently to Earth. We didn't fall in a hard way. We were not hurt when we hit Earth, and we came through what looks like a portal, basically. And we just fell to Earth. But we floated. Those of us that were here to help the humans and serve God, but also not know who the hell we are, we kind of floated down. We gently bumped the ground when we hit. That's what he's showing me. So that's he says that's about all we're going to talk about regarding the fall today. But he says, well, there you basically have it. So love your enemies as yourself, because your enemies are yourself. And don't blame people for their natures that they were given in the beginning. But also don't be tempted by them. And also, Just keep raising your vibration. So this is Archangel Michael again. He says, keep raising your vibration. Keep following your love. Keep following your light. Keep following that inner beauty inside of you that's going to guide you to higher realms. If you accept and allow more love and more light inside of you to come, that you generate from yourself, if you imagine in the very heart of hearts of you, the fingerprint of God exists, or that energy of God literally exists in every single one of your cells. Focus on that energy. Go towards that light. Go towards that beauty. And you're going to raise your vibration so much that you're going to turn the ones that were the dark ones, the fallen ones, the demons. Eventually, they're all going to come back to God, or they're going to be reabsorbed. This is me, Elena, saying this now. But that's what he's showing me. That's like we're going to, with our love and our powerful energy of forgiveness and our willingness to, like, again, you don't have to invite people over to your house if they're evil, but your willingness to look beyond the outer shell or the behaviors of people and understand that they're God too. The unity is what's going to help finish off this schematic so that we could go to the 5th dimension and then start a brand new schematic, basically. But from a 5th dimensional perspective, where life is not so hard, where life is a lot more light-hearted, and there's a lot more light there, and there isn't evil anymore, because we don't need polarity any longer. So that's it. I am Archangel, this is him saying this now, I am Archangel Michael. I am a protector and defender of humankind because I serve my Lord, and I love you with all the glory that you are. And I bid you adieu, and I wish you joy and peace and harmony forever and ever. Amen. So there it is. All right. End transmission. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. Again, my apologies for getting it out so late. Oh, we're finally up to 80%. Oh my God, it's like, almost 20 hours to charge. This is ridiculous. So, well, I might have to go buy another device or a new battery. I don't know what. So, anyway, it is what it is. I'll be back tomorrow with all unique and original programming, just like always. I am available and open for bookings. If you want a reading, just DM me at mermaidgirl888. But that's it. I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy 5th dimension. Until next time, guys, remember that I love you. Peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.